work, ingenuity and ambition. All things you'll find in abundance amongst the 15 million people of Shanghai over there to our southeast. And we've got plenty of that here on the grid as well. 20,000 horsepower, give or take, chomping at the bit to be unleashed for the Chinese Grand Prix. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1 and, of course, down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. Joining me once again to take you through this race is the effervescent Anthony Davidson, and I'm very much looking forward to it getting underway. You raced here, of course, didn't you, back in your Super Aguri days in that infamous Chinese Grand Prix of 2007?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't last that long, though, unfortunately. Qualifying had gone pretty well, but my brakes failed quite early in the race, around lap 10 or 11, something like that. And of course, back in 2004, I was the very first Formula 1 driver to complete a lap of this circuit. Just thought I'd mention that for you, Crofty. You like a good stat. It's a fairly tough circuit on the brakes here, though. You know, there's that long back straight down into turn 14, and then you've got turn 6 and 11. They're quite heavy as well. On top of that, managing your front tyre wear is always a challenge around here, so there's a lot to keep in mind during the Grand Prix.
You've done well to put it on pole, but we've still got work to do. Trying to cover the inside line off the start.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. It's Renault in pole position then, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Raikkonen, Massa, Alonso, Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas, Hülkenberg, Perez, Jolyon Palmer, and Kvyat, Sainz, Ericsson, Felipe Nasser, and Jenson Button, Wehrlein, and Harry Anto, Romain Grosjean, and Esteban Gutierrez completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Hello everyone and welcome to F1 2016 career mode in the Renault. We're at the Chinese Grand Prix this time out. As you can see, we start from the pole position, P number 1. Now if you saw our live stream of qualifying, you'll see that there are some strange circumstances surrounding that particular event, but anyway, so look at the strategy, the 2-stop onto the formation lap, which I'm getting quite bored of. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I get if it's changeable conditions, you get to feel out what the track feels like, but other than that, I don't really see a point. And I'm getting a little bit bored because I don't think it makes that much of a difference to your race whether you do it or not. Which is why, as you can see, we're going to skip the formation lap and go straight on to the grid for lights out. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Our first race from pole, and away we go. A little bit of wheel spin, so Rosberg's going to capitalise on that and take the lead of the race into turn 1. He's run a little bit wide, so we're going to cut back on him and take the lead back again into turn 2. We're going to have a look at a replay of that one as we head off towards the hairpin. There's the lights on the top right of your screen. And away we go. There's the smoke from the tyres. There's the wheel spin. Rosberg gets up the inside. We've got Vettel behind us. There we are, cutting back in front. Take the lead. Rosberg second, Vettel third. Looks like Raikkonen and one of the Red Bulls getting intimate behind us. Banging wheels down into the hairpin. Raikkonen up the inside. Takes the place off of Verstappen. And up into fourth he goes as we go towards the end of the first lap now. Mercedes engine power coming into play. Just look at the speed difference there that Rosberg has over us. Not even DRS assisted. We're going to hang it out around the outside. Wrestle the place back off of him. We're back in the lead. Nearly drop it on the entry to the final corner, but we get through. And we lead lap number 1. Here's a fantastic illustration of the Mercedes straight line speed. No DRS. Vettel's going to mug us as well, but we move across to cover him. Down into the hairpin. I think Rosberg just clipped a bit too much of that inside curb, which allowed us to get the traction at the corner and repass him into the final corner. Lap 5, we've got Vettel in the pits, so it's Raikkonen behind us. He's passed Rosberg, and he's done a Rosberg, taking the lead into turn 1, and we're just going to take it right back off of him again, or not. Going to give him a little bit of room, and then we get some wheel spin, a tank slapper. Rosberg gets back through into second place, so we've dropped to third in as many corners. Rather unfortunate there, but the tyres have started to go off quite a lot already, and it's only lap 5. As you can see, our pit window is lap 8 to 11. We're developing quite a bit of understeer already. That's what we get having to drive the wheels off this thing. We had a little bit of oversteer, which allowed Verstappen to get through. A little bit of contact, and then we mess up on the curb. Through goes Bottas. So we've gone from race leader to 5th in a lap. And here comes Massa as well. We've got DRS. Bottas has DRS. And I really can't compete with these Mercedes engine cars, as Massa has a look down the inside of Bottas to try and overtake both of us into the hairpin. He can't quite do it, as the two Williamses side by side into the last corner. We're going to see if we can capitalise on this, as we have DRS. Down into turn 1. We just don't have the speed. But we do have the tactics, and through we go on Massa into turn 2. Classic move of waiting for the AI to run slightly wide and then tuck him down the inside. Hamilton out of the race, as you can see. Serious car issue, and the safety car is deployed. Let's have a look and see what happened to Hamilton. First, we're going to have a look at this nice Williams battle that we had. We've got Hulkenberg in the it's either Hulkenberg or Perez in that Force India. Oh, as the Williams bangs wheels there with Hulkenberg. Here's a look at what happened to Lewis Hamilton. Boom! Engine failure for Lewis Hamilton. And out of the race he goes, and that is what brought out the safety car. Lap 11 of 28, and it was Perez. We've got Fiat 3 seconds behind us. Gonna have a look down the inside of Perez, down into turn 6, and through we go. Later on in lap 11, we've got Gutierrez in 3rd. And we're gonna dive down the inside. A little bit of contact with Massa in his side pod. He's still on our left. We're gonna have to let him through and switch back into the last corner. DRS open. He doesn't even have DRS and he's pulling in front of us. Down into turn 1. And he's blocked us off from doing the move. No, he has not. Back through we go into turn 2. And onto the final lap of the race. Because nothing else really happened. Other than, as you can see, our tyres have gone off massively. We pitted a couple of laps early. In that pit stop phase with the safety car. And that has put us way out of contention. See, I have much fresher tyres. So through goes Rosberg. We've got Bottas right behind us. We've locked up, we've run wide. Bottas there, he's just going to nick it with the DRS and that power from the Mercedes engine. And we dropped to 8th place on the final lap. We lost 2 places. Which is unfortunate, but that is our first points finish of the season and of our career. Felipe Massa went on to win the race.
They've done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well though, there's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And I can see our drivers making their way out now. It's been a sublime
There we go, Felipe Massa, Kimi Raikkonen and Daniel Kvyat rounding out your podium. Massa looks like he's terrified. Lovely blurry podium as well. I do hope that was a bit of an enjoyable race. Maybe not towards the end of it. Here's how the Drivers' Championship stands. Max Verstappen still leads, but Massa is second, Hamilton is third. We're way down the field, obviously. We're 13th with that points finish. Our teammate hasn't got any points, so we're leading that battle. We're 9th in the Constructors, and Red Bull and Williams lead the Constructors. The next race will be the Russian Grand Prix, so I hope you're there for that. Do take care.